right, let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome. This is back to Television News at 12. I am Emma. Come to you live from Uyo, the capital city of the Province State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu promises to execute infrastructural projects in all zones. Federal government to raise 100 billion naira with fresh bond issuance. Plus, United States House bans WhatsApp from official devices. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. We begin the news this afternoon from the national scene where President Bola Tinubu has vowed to execute infrastructural development in all zones of Nigeria. Tinubu said he would continue to execute projects that would make Nigerians feel the touch of good governance under his administration. He spoke at the inauguration of the newly constructed rural road from A2 Junction, Abuja Lokoja Expressway to Pi Community in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory to mark his second year in office. The president vowed to continue embarking on projects like that of the A2 to Pi Road across Nigeria because it is symbolic. Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that Africa's future economic success depends on its ability to integrate the informal sector into the formal intra-African trade framework. Shettima stated this while declaring open the fourth African Union Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises (MSMEs) Forum in Abuja. While he said the framework will be achieved particularly through the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFCFTA), he warned that if Africa failed to harness the potential in the informal sector for small businesses to grow, the continent would keep going round the same cycle of despair. A statement later published on his official X handle noted that the promise of a better future for Africa does not depend on the skyscrapers being constructed in capitals of nations or the transactions in stock exchange, but lies in the reality that the potential of the informal sector, which accounts for nearly 90% of the continent's workforce, must be harnessed. Away from that, the federal government has said it recorded 6.9 trillion naira in revenue as at the end of April this year. Disclosing this yesterday, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edo, noted that the performance was about 40% increase year on year when compared with the 5.2 trillion naira at the same period of last year. Speaking at the second quarter citizens and stakeholders engagement on the implementation of presidential priorities and ministerial deliverables, Edo added that with rising revenue, the percentage of debt servicing revenue was getting better. In other news, the federal government of Nigeria, through the Debt Management Office, has offered green bonds valued at 100 billion naira for subscription at 1,000 naira per unit. The DMO announced the offer on its X handle yesterday. DMO explains that the latest offer consists of a 50 billion naira 5 years reopening bond due in April 2029 and a 50 billion new 7 years bond due in June 2032, both at an interest rate of 19.3% semi-annually. The agency said the auction date is June 23rd, while the settlement date is on June 25. In another development, the Benue State Police Command on Monday said it has deployed drones to track down the location of the 11 passengers and driver abducted around Eke in Opoko local government area of the state. Gunmen suspected to be kidnappers had around 6:30 p.m. on Sunday abducted 11 passengers and a driver of a vehicle belonging to Benue State Transport Company known as Benue Links. The bus was intercepted at Ike in Opoko local government area and the Otukpa Enugu Highway. Confirming the abduction, the management of Benue Links said the ill-fated vehicle left Abeokuta in Ogun State en route to Makodi on Sunday when it was intercepted by gunmen. The management confirmed the incident in a statement made available to journalists in Makodi on Monday. On financial crime, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has arrested an ex-chief financial officer (CFO) of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), Umar Issa, over an alleged $7.2 billion fraud linked with the rehabilitation of the Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries. The anti-graft agency also apprehended one Jimo Olasukomi, a former managing director of Warri Refinery. It will be recalled that Issa, as CFO, spearheaded the release of funds for the turnaround maintenance of the three refineries. Reports say he and all the key officials involved in the maintenance of the refineries and other NNPC key projects are being investigated for alleged abuse of office, corruption, diversion of funds, and kickbacks from contractors. Moving down to Africa, where three police officers in Kenya were on Monday, June 23rd, charged with the murder of a 31-year-old blogger, Albert Owang, whose death in police custody earlier this month had triggered nationwide protest and renewed scrutiny of police brutality in the country. Owang was arrested after allegedly defaming Kenya's deputy police chief, Eliud Lagat, on social media. Lagat, who has denied any wrongdoing, stepped down temporarily last week while investigations continued. Alongside the three officers, Samson Kiprot, Talam James, and Peter Kimani, three civilians are also facing charges. Authorities initially claimed Owang died from self-inflicted injuries. However, a postmortem later revealed evidence of assault, contradicting the police account and fueling public anger. On the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has announced that Iran and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire after close to 2 weeks of violent conflict between the two countries. Trump took to his Truth Social on Monday evening to announce that both countries had agreed to a complete and total ceasefire. According to him, the ceasefire agreement is expected to take effect at 12 midnight local time, but both Iran and Israel are yet to confirm any definite ceasefire agreement. However, Iran said its military operations to punish Israel for its aggression continued until the very last minute at 4 a.m. Still on the foreign scene, the WhatsApp messaging service has been banned from all U.S. House of Representatives devices, according to a memo sent out to all staff of the House on Monday. Citing data security concerns, a memo issued Monday by the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer, the House's Office of Cybersecurity flagged WhatsApp as a high-risk app due to the lack of transparency in how it protects user data, absence of stored data encryption, and potential security risks involved with its use. Still to come in the news. Super Falcons arrive Morocco Wednesday for final preparation. Stay tuned for details of this and more in a moment. Thanks for staying tuned, and now I'll bring you the rest of the news stories. On our business news, the Naira appreciated against the dollar at the parallel foreign exchange market to kick off the week on a good note. The Bureau de Change operator at Wuse Zone 4 told reporters that it gained 1,590 Naira, beg your pardon, against the dollar on Monday from 1,600 Naira traded last week and Friday. This means that at the black market, where foreign exchange currencies are mostly transacted, the Naira strengthened by a significant 10 Naira in the period under review. On our health news, the chairman of Nigerian Medical Association, Abia State, Dr. Ezinwa Ezurike, has called on the Abia State Civil Service Commission and other concerned agencies to resume the process for the recruiting of 771 health workers, which was approved by Governor Alex Otti. Dr. Ezurike, who made the call in Umahia, expressed surprise at the sudden suspension of the recruitment exercise last week. Speaking to newsmen in Umahia, the NMA chairman praised Governor Alex Otti for his wisdom in approving the employment of more health workers and for reconstructing health facilities in the state. He, however, called for urgent resumption of the employment to take care of patients' health workers ratio in urban and rural areas. He said that employing more health workers, as approved by Governor Oti, would go a long way in addressing the shortage of experienced professional health workers in the state. Still in health, the National Health Insurance Authority and stakeholders in the health sector have emphasized the need to prioritize health insurance, making it accessible and sustainable for every individual, regardless of their background or economic status. They noted that health insurance remains a vital instrument for improving health outcomes, reducing preventable deaths, and saving lives. With the 2022 NHIA Act 2022, health insurance has become mandatory for all Nigerians and legal residents in the country. Reports say 19.2 million citizens have enrolled in health insurance schemes. Speaking at an interactive forum in Lagos recently with the theme Health Insurance, a Priority to Improve Health Outcomes, the stakeholders who identified challenges hindering health insurance coverage and chartered a course of action also emphasized the crucial role of health insurance in achieving universal health coverage in the country. To sports news now, where Nigeria Super Falcons will arrive Morocco on Wednesday for their final preparations ahead of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Justin Madugu's side held their host Portugal to a nil-nil draw in a friendly at the Estadio OC Gomes on Monday night. The players will have a light training session later on today before departing for Morocco. The Super Falcons have another friendly scheduled for Sunday against perennial rivals Black Queens of Ghana. Nigeria's opening game of the WAFCON 2024 finals is against Tunisia in Casablanca on Sunday, July 6. The nine-time African champions will also face Botswana and Algeria in the group stage. Still in sports, former world number ones Naomi Osaka and Victoria Azarenka both advanced to the second round in the Wimbledon warm-up tournament at Bad Homburg on Monday. Japan's Osaka battled past Serbian qualifier Olga Danovic 7-6, 8-6, 7-6, 7-4 as Belarusian Azarenka beats Germany's Laura Siamond 6-2, 6-2. Azarenka, 35, next meets Poland's Iga Swiatek in the second round. Osaka fired 16 aces with Danilovic hitting 10 in a big serving battle which lasted just over 2 hours. Last in the news at this hour in entertainment. Former Big Brother Niger Season 9 housemates and ex-lovers Cyan and Chinwe were involved in a heated argument over who broke up with whom in the first episode of the reality show Reunion, which premiered on Monday night. Cyan claimed he broke up with Chinwe because their purposes did not align. However, Chinwe countered him, describing his claim as a lie. She submitted that the relationship ended due to Zion's nonchalant attitude. She narrated how Zion went clubbing all night the day before she returned to her base, despite asking him to come home and spend time with her before they traveled the next noon. She stated that Zion switched off his phone, and when he returned the next day, he claimed he could not get a ride at the time but drove past their side to his friend's house. Chinwe claimed that Zion's family and friends dislike her because she revealed during the reality show that she sponsored him on the show. And that's all we have in the news app this hour. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at noon. I am Uyai MM. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.